Hey everyone, Maury Curtis Dunbar here with Painted Studio. It is Saturday, late in the day, going a little later than usual because we've had lots of people just wandering in and out of the studio today because it was so nice out. So yeah, I had to kind of push things back a little bit. So give me just a second, let me turn on my iPad so that I can see what's being said, if I have any questions, because we all know once I flip this thing down, I can't see. So let's see if I've got this started. And here we go, yay, woohoo. Oh, maybe I need to turn the volume down. I thought I had it all the way down, but I didn't. I don't need to hear myself in echo. Okay, so the last few days, you know, yesterday we worked on these signs and now we're doing the other side. So this one I took my time today, and besides shedding hair all over it, I foiled every other one so I could be a little more careful applying stuff, because this side, unlike this side does not have the cutout lips, ridges, edges under the jaws, so I had to kind of create it. But I thought on this side we kind of do a cool iridescent look. So let me flip this down and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So right here I use Melody foil. Over here I used the Ohana 1 foil. So now we're going to foil these other two and seal them up. And I think for this one we're going to use, I'm sorry, that's not the, is this the Ohana? This is the Ohana one, so this is the Odessa foil that I use. Sorry, I can't keep these O names that all look similar straight. So if you have any questions about that, you're gonna have to message me so I can actually look it up, because I'm going to get them wrong every single time. That's not a question, that's not a negative statement about myself, that's a fact. When things are too close together, I get them all mixed up. Okay, so foil normally has a pretty side and an ugly side, but this is a translucent film. So normally what I would tell you would be the shiny side up, because the matte side is going to want to sit on your glue. But when we send this to you, when you order it from us, because films like this are so hard to tell which is the top and the bottom, we place little pieces of tape on your sheet and explain to you why we've done it, because nothing's more frustrating than laying down the foil adhesive and then realizing you have the adhesive on, or the foil on the wrong way, because that messes with your adhesive. So let's not do that. All right, so I'm gonna scrub vertically and horizontally, and this foil is the one that as I'm doing this, it looks like nothing, but as soon as I pull the adhesive, or pull the film back, it's a huge wow factor. Down really well because I want as nice a release as humanly possible, and I think I got that going. Oh yes. Oh, look at that. Now you can see the release on the film here. That foggy white is actually what transferred on here and gives you this beautiful iridescent look. So I thought this would be kind of fun, a fun spooky look for one side. The other's very colorful, this side's sort of mysterious. And then for the last part here, we're gonna use the Odell foil. Again, this is a translucent foil, so when we ship it to you, we put little pieces of tape on the part that doesn't go to the adhesive. So we're gonna lay that down, smooth it out. Now somebody asked me, and they always ask me this, how do I choose my colors and patterns? Believe it or not, even when it looks random, all this stuff is sort of sorting through my head on what I hope for the final look to come out like. And there's a big old piece of hair in here. can see it. Hair wedged into my piece, and now I got to get it out so that I can put foil over where I stuck it. Yay, I'm so proud of myself. Not that anybody would notice it except me, because I'm sitting right here and staring at it. Nice. Oh, I like that. Now, let me go see if I can work that little hair curl out of there. Normally I would take a pick, but I got a little scissor. Let's see if I can get that scissor. And if I can't, I'll leave it alone. I don't have to screw it up completely. Get this over here, because I can see I missed a little bit right there. Come on. I can feel it. I just can't get a grip on it. Oh, that's gonna make me crazy. I'll be able to get fixed. Hold on, I'm gonna get a tweezer. As a general rule, I am not about perfection, but the fact that there's a piece of my hair in here is just irritates the tar out of me. All right, there we go. And if I'll see if I can release a little foil over it if it doesn't grab. Oh, that worked. Yep. But it didn't grab, so, well, because I didn't get it all out over here. I still feel it over there. There it goes. Now I got it all out. God, that's annoying. I hate hair in my stuff, and considering how much hair I have and that it's always floating around me, yeah, that's kind of annoying. Hey, Carol and Sheila, thank you for popping in. And Tracy, Susan, nice to see you here. Okay, so I have already sealed the other side. We're gonna take AquaGuard gloss, again, not the container it comes in. I own gallons of stuff, and since I like to dip into my jars, I tend to put them in smaller separate jars, so A, my whole gallon doesn't dry out, and B, I don't cross-contaminate. All right, so I'm just gonna take some AquaGuard gloss, which is exterior rated, and put this on here. Now, we can talk about foils being exterior rated. A, we know the adhesive is not. Says so on the packaging, the manufacturer will remind you, but it is not the thing that's exposed so much as, say, the foil. Foils themselves aren't necessarily interior or exterior rated. They're pretty much interior, but under a top coat that's exterior rated, they hold up really nicely outside. Now, what they don't do is guarantee color fastness. Meaning the sunlight, even with a UV top coat on it, can change the colors. I've done this with a bunch of these. For example, this as the Odell foil, I've had this on planters outside the front of my studio now for 2 years. No color fading. Some of the blues though, blue glitter stars, stuff like that, those fade. The red glitter wants to fade a little bit, but not a lot. I was very surprised to see, for something that wasn't exterior rated, what did and didn't fail into holding the colors. Now, I can't tell you which of all of the foils are good and which aren't. I can just tell you the ones that I've tested, and like the tie-dye blue-green, the purple, all of those have been outside in my yard. I've been running tests on them, or outside in the studio for over a year. No problems with them. But some of the intense blues and the reds do not hold up well. So just sharing that information, not crisis, especially when we're doing holiday decor like this, which generally isn't outside for more than a few weeks. But, you know, if this fades this year, well, I guess I just found myself a new project for next year. Oh no, I might have to do more of these, because it's not like I don't have any fun with them, as you can tell. Now, I'm going to pick this up, let this dry. Oops, I just whacked my arm with it right here. And I'm also going to go on the back too, just to make sure there are no dribbles coming through, because that makes a very unattractive final finish. And we're going to set our iridescent skulls down to dry. And I'll give another quick peek of those after we're done. All right, let's put that away for a second. Let's grab our next sign. Okay, this, if you remember last time, it's got the pumpkin on the head and then there's the full body. On the other side, I've already sealed it. We did tie-dye pumpkin and Ohana one on the body. On this side, we're going silvers and blacks. So we've got our pumpkin already foiled and sealed in Ramsey's Roses Silver. Now I'm going to take the body here, hang on a sec, and we're going to use one of our newest foils, which is Berkeley in silver, and this has got great little square patterns on it, so I really like that. Hey Maddie, hi Desiree, thanks for popping in, and Dottie, nice to see you all here. All right, so I'm going to just kind of take this up at the top and try to roll it down. Given the fact that I know I'm already rolling crooked, I may stop right there so I don't screw it up, because I really, you know, I don't want this on a huge diagonal. But the nice thing is that this pattern is irregular, so it's not going to need to be lined up perfectly square. So the first thing I'm going to do right here, smooth it with my fingers, get it all over the adhesive. Once again, we're using our Artsyville adhesive that has been sitting here and drying for well over an hour. I did these this morning in preparation for this afternoon. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little scrubby brush, go back and forth here. That's my speaker. You don't need to be staring at the top of my little studio speaker. Let's get this. This would make a great kind of different look on this board than I normally choose. Oh, look how pretty that is. That's gorgeous. Great release, and the only reason you didn't get a perfect release is that this is on wood, and between the wood and the Artsyville foil adhesive, there's texture. So, you know, that happens. All right, let's see if I can get this on a little straighter this time. Did it. Yay! Got it on straight. Okay, and again, this is our Berkeley in silver. We have Berkeley gold, which is gold squares like this, and then we have Berkeley silver, which is silver and gray. So pretty. I love this pattern so much. And once again, my hair is in things. So this should be a lesson to everybody to be better about getting your hair out of your way than I am. Because, yeah, I shed like a pony all over this thing. And I have no idea how I managed to do that, considering that I actually had my hair back in a ponytail when I was applying the foil. probably shit. I just want to feel for them. Feel if I need to pull them up. This probably came off the floor now that I'm thinking about it. You know, because the ends were braced up against the floor. Okay, so we got that done. And we're gonna seal this. And then we're gonna do the back of our coffin. And if I have enough battery on my camera, which it's pretty low, just for fair warning, my battery is definitely a little on the low side here. So this live could drop at any second, and meanwhile, I'll just keep going. Or I'll try to do it with my iPad, which could be a little more challenging since I don't have a tripod that fits the iPad quite so well. Now you can see I'm taking long strokes with my top coat. This is how you top coat furniture too. You don't dally around with it. You don't play with it. You get it in and you get it done. Why? Because the top coats, especially water-based top coats, will start setting up as you're brushing them. And if you've ever had top coats, and I'm sure you all have because I had them too, it took me a while to figure this out. Your top coat gets streaky and it looks like parts of it are dull and stuff. It actually comes from over brushing. All right, let's set this one aside. Let it dry for a minute. And then we have our last one. This is our coffin, and if you remember the front side, we did, what was that bottom file? Berkeley Silver, Desiree, that's what that was. It's gorgeous. Okay, so we did this in the gold clouds, and then this is our jaguar foil on the sides, and now we're gonna do the jaguar foil across the back and seal it up. And if you notice, I'm sealing everything. Again, these are going outside. At least if they go to me, they'll go outside. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to sell them or I'm going to keep them. Because I'm really liking these so much and I keep making stuff for everybody else. All right, this is our jaguar foil. I'm rolling it down the length of this just because using one piece can make my life a little easier. There's that. And again, this is our jaguar foil. All right, let me get up here. Now I'm not going to go buffing right hard right along this edge here and right along this one here. I need that to stay softer so that when I come back and put foil on those spots that this roll wasn't wide enough to cover, that it's got a soft blur there so I don't get any harsh lines. My sleeve out of the way. Burnishing my sleeve will not help my finish. There we go. Yeah, that looks so good. so good. All right, let's put some foil right there so I can get that matched up. And I don't want to scrub too hard because if I over scrub, I can actually dull the foil that's underneath here. I want to do it gently so that I get the best possible final result. All right, I want to get up there a little bit. Nice. Oh gosh, that's coming out great. Now I'm going to take this part and get down to all the way down to the bottom over here. And then I like to come back and see if I've left any little thin spots. Come back in, rub a little foil randomly, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, so that came out really nicely as well. I love this Jaguar foil. And, you know, surprisingly, I'm not really a huge animal print person, but these foils make such great animal prints that I can't resist them for creating stuff. All right, here's my top coat again. Let me seal this up. And if you notice, I'm starting on the other side. I do this whether I'm wearing big droopy sleeves or not. And when you see this spot, I know you can see it in the camera, it looks a little lighter. It's not, it's just a slight change in the reflection right there. It's 100% foiled. It's just because that was a patched in spot, and the way I put it in just changed the level of the sheen a little bit. So, as you notice, I started from the back of this piece and came this way, and even when I don't have these big old sleeves on, I do that because I will get my elbows into everything I work on. Therefore, I try to teach myself ways to minimize the mess, because I don't care about my clothes as much as I care about not screwing up my project. Okay. All right, that's gonna sit and dry, and I think we have time to do some of the lettering. Now this I gotta set up, it's gotta sit over here, dry a little bit. Okay, so top coats dry to the touch very fast. This is not cured. This is not 100% ready to go for anything. I wouldn't send this home with somebody. But what I can do on here is release letters. And the reason I can do that is because I've sealed the foil and I've cut my letters in advance. And then I can flip it over and do the other side. So this one is a little different than the other ones. This is not going to say something spooky. This is going to say moonlight, because I thought, what a pretty word to go with this silvery moon-like pumpkin. There's that. And let me reach across the table for my burnisher. Okay. So the reason I sealed this up before I put the letters on is because this adhesive backing here, the transfer tape, can dull or lightly pull up the foil when you're releasing a letter, and I didn't want that to happen. So I made sure to seal this up to be able to put lettering on here and not have it be an issue. Now, of course, you've seen me do this before, and you know that just because I want it to work well doesn't mean it won't be a challenge for me. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to roll this back. Now, if you notice what I'm doing, where did I leave my little picker piece? Where's my little tweezer that I just had over here? Oh, Lord, where do I put things? I don't need an assistant. I need a minder. I need a babysitter, somebody to keep track of me and all my stuff. With another tweezer. It's a good thing I have dozens upon dozens of tweezers in here. All right, so I'm just going to pull this lettering off of here. And again, I'm going parallel, not pulling it up perpendicular. I don't want to put the stress on the letter that I just carefully cut and weeded. And you can see this is delicate, so you know I got to be careful with it. But it is such pretty lettering. I thought a really romantic kind of script on this would just be so pretty. Nice contrast with this sort of graphic urban background on here. Okay, there's the M. Now I got to stand up to do this, otherwise nothing gets centered. That's the M. Just making sure I hadn't lost my mind. Once I get the first one on, the rest are usually much easier. And I try to keep a little piece of this plastic tape lifted up, because then it makes it easier for me to lift it up off the surface. But look how pretty that M is on there. Okay. And now I'm going to do the T for down at the other end, and that helps me to accurately space my letters. Now this is the part that does take the longest. I have Halloween letters, letters that say Halloween for the other side of this, and then I have the rest in peace for the coffin. Sorry, trying to pay attention to what I'm doing and not screw it up. Okay, there's that one. Here's the T. So I'm going to come back over here. See, that's the stuff you have to be careful with. Fortunately, I didn't pull hard, so I didn't tear my letter, but I have torn letters before. Alrighty. So now the rest to do is to take the letters and space them out so I have an idea of just how far apart they have to be. But I always put the top and the bottom letters in first if I can, because that makes it so much easier. When I have to figure out spacing. Okay, so now I have my letters cut out. I just need to space them a little more evenly because otherwise they're going to be all crowded at the top and nothing on the bottom. Okay, so I'm pretty well spaced there. Little adjustment by hand for each one, but yeah, I'm all right. Sit down. Oh, thank you, Maddie. I appreciate that you think, I do think these are just so romantic looking on here. And I like that. I like the contrast. Now, I don't like using what I would consider necessarily a typical font. I like to take a little swing at things, so none of my signs for Halloween have ever had you know, the standard scary fonts that you see used on everything this time of year. I'm either or something romantic. A little more Mary Shelley, little less Nightmare Before Elm Street. I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas, Nightmare Before Elm Street. Jeez, talk about getting my movies all confused. Okay, let's get this on here. So this is part of why this all takes so much time. I go and place each letter one at a time. I work out each placement one at a time. Just have to have a little patience. And like I said, my batteries are dying on my phone. And I just realized they're dying on my iPad too. So clearly, if this cuts out, I hope you'll be patient with me and understand that I let my battery die. I'm just hoping it lasts long enough to get me through this word, moonlight. Get off of there. There we go. That's it. Let's get that placed right where it belongs. Come on. And this is what happens if you lift something and it shifts and it's where you don't want it. You take a tweezer and you shift it around until it's placed correctly again. And I am flipping the O's because I think it adds for a little visual interest. And when I say flipping, I mean, you can see the curlicue for this one is here and the curlicue for that one's there. I just kind of like the way it looked. I thought it looked pretty flipped both ways, so that's why we're doing it. Now, some letters are going to be a lot wider than others, like this N is, you can see, the N and the M you can see were very wide letters. So placement becomes a challenge of making the centers of the letters line up and not the edges. you're trying to, if you were setting this as a font on your computer, you would want it centered, not justified left or right. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you've never created a Word document for anything and had to look at how you were placing columns and that sort of stuff. So I'm afraid that's the best description I have of it, though. It's like you're centering your type, not justifying it. God damn it. Sorry, folks, I just cursed. You don't want to hear me curse. Maybe you should be watching somebody else. Generally, I try to control my mouth. But sometimes it gets away from me. When nobody's looking, I swear like a sailor. And I blame it on my 5th grade class. All of a sudden, 5th grade, we all discovered every 4-letter word ever created and a few that we made up on our own, I swear. And I remember the use of the F word all of a sudden in 5th grade skyrocketed. We all discovered we could say it and we weren't gonna drop dead. Okay. Yep. Oh, I bold things. Fortunately, nothing breaks that easily. Alrighty. That was annoying. Okay, let's get the rest of these words. So my goal tonight is to get all of these lettering bits done before I leave. Now, I'm not going to make you sit here with me to watch me do them all. Quite frankly, my phone will die before that. Okay. And there's that one. Somebody. Oh, Maddie says, in Italian, that's the first word she learned. Okay, moonlight, here we go. Now, if I actually do screw this up and there is just a ridiculous amount of space between my last letters, I can peel it up and redo it. It's not that big a deal. Oh, shoot. That, however, that I just annoyed myself doing. Because I left half of this letter behind. Figure out which way this goes on here. There we go. I got it. There we go. All fixed. A little further there. I warned you, it's easy to have a moment with these letters. Okay, there's the I. really love how this is coming out. Oh, really? You're gonna be the piece that fights me? After everything we've been through together. Sometimes if the cutter cuts the paper and a little deeper than it should, you can have your backing paper start to peel up with your letter. So just take a moment to make sure you've got everything separated properly so you can lie this stuff down and not have a problem. Let that drop. I feel like I'm wandering a little bit too closer to me, but I'm actually not. I keep checking it. It just, in my head, I keep saying that I have. Okay. I'm getting a little warm. It's because I'm getting towards the end and I'm getting nervous that I've done something screwy. I probably do have to move that T up a little bit. Come on. So I was very pleased. All my glass came out beautifully. I don't know how much I talked about this last week just because I was pretty fried by the time I got finished. But my collaborator loved my work. She's still telling me how beautiful it is. And there is a chance, and I put it that way very specifically because I'm not sure, but there is a chance that this could end up a book and I could be in a book, which would thrill me to no end. I've been published in articles and magazines, but I have yet to be published in something that I wasn't publishing myself. You know, I've done formula books and that sort of thing, but I would be so honored and so thrilled to have that be a book and be part of it, because it's probably one of the most amazing things I've worked on in a long, long time. Okay. Oh, Maddie, thank you. Maddie says Maddie and I, if you want to see somebody who makes the most beautiful wreaths I've ever seen, it's Maddie. Maddie may be one of my followers and my customers, but I am one of hers as well. I bought a wreath from her last Christmas that it was like one of the first things I checked when our house burned to make sure the wreath didn't burn. And I'm going to need to commission her to do some more fun stuff because she makes beautiful, beautiful things. She does lanterns and all kinds of stuff. So if you're seeing Maddie in this post, consider checking out her stuff. She makes such pretty things. Yay, got it off, didn't screw it up. Let's see, I'm gonna have to move that T up just a little bit. but I do like this like this. I really am happy with this. So as you can see, I'm really only pressing the letters. I'm not pressing the whole thing to the surface because that keeps, you know, this is new top coat on here. So I'm trying to protect the top coat as much as I'm trying to protect the foil on underneath it and make sure the lettering goes well. So, all right, we're gonna come back down here and I am going to carefully lift up my T. There we go. Now you can understand too now why I don't necessarily burnish everything down until I'm done, because I have to get everything laid out correctly. There we go. Moonlight. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, I'm pleased with that. All right. So I'm going to call it a day, everybody. It's late. I still have 2 more signs to finish lettering. And as I've mentioned before, my phone and my iPad are about to die. So, you know, I'll finish them. I'll take pictures. I'll share them all over Facebook and everything else. And so I will see you all next week. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Have a good one.